Or?
You're digging in my nose.
I'm not. I'm trying to make sure nothing's on you.
Hey guys, what's going on? Will, Audra,
Hi.
Flawless Crested Geckos coming to you guys with another video. And like always, when
We're
we do,
delirious. Right?
Yeah, very much so.
411.
Very, very tired. We just finished putting away geckos, doing a soft inventory, feeding, following up with customers that are still needing geckos and getting together what we're going to have to ship out.
Touching base with Patreon members.
Yes, it just goes on and on and on. I don't want to sound like we're complaining. It really is a lot of work.
It's a blessing.
Yes, and this is the recap. We like doing these videos to kind of show you guys what's happening at the shows, what we're experiencing at the shows. Not all of it. We got to keep it PG-13 because I almost lost my top on this one.
Oh yeah.
But
we'll have to.
Yeah, we'll tell you a little bit about that. But the show in and of itself was absolutely amazing.
Yes, it was.
As always with the NARBC show. But you can roll into some of the experiences we had, and should we start off with the setup or finish with the setup?
Let's go ahead and break the ice. Go ahead and get that out there. So
they moved us.
Yeah.
And then moved us again.
And moved us.
And then again.
Moved us some more. So basically, when we first started vending, we started off kind of like, if you're looking at the setup of Tinley, you've got the left and the right side, right? You've got the main entry, and then you can go left or right. We were couple of rows down back towards the second entrance.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
Stop. You're distracting me. I don't have the bandwidth to deal with your
Stop cussing.
I'm gonna beat you is what I'm gonna do. Okay. Now my nose is running. See? Oh my god. Anyway.
Get yourself together, woman.
I'm trying. Of course, I end up with some crap from Tinley. Anyway, so when we first started vending, we were on down close on the left side of the second entrance, which was great, right?
Right.
And then they moved us on down. We were actually in front of Northern Gecko for a couple of shows. Yeah, I believe for the solid year last year. And then this time they decided to boot us again, all the way to the back corner on a perimeter space, which we're fine. Like, we'll set up wherever. But when we got there, they had smushed those perimeter booths down so hard that, guess what? We couldn't fit our sign.
Right.
And then...
And it was a traditional sign.
Yes, it's not any bigger than everybody else has the same sign. Like, it's not.
It was the building structure itself because of the pillars and.
So there's brick pillars that kind of jut out, and it creates just a problem because you can't pull your booth out to compensate. Because then you'll be in the walkway, and it's tight. If you've been to Tinley, you know it's tight. And this Tinley was outrageous as far as how many people came through the door. So anyway, that being said, we start setting up. Nobody's there. We've got everything worked out. Okay, we try to move our sign actually behind the brick pillar,
and it fit.
It was fine. Then comes in other vendors.
Yes.
And I'll let Will continue the story from here.
So we stayed within our space, our allotted space. So when you get a booth, it's always been traditionally, 8 foot deep and 10 feet wide. The reason being is normally you get 8 foot tables. And anyone who gets a booth, you get an 8 foot table, and then you have like a 2 foot allowance there to allow you to kind of go back and forth from behind your booth. Everyone should have that. That's by design. That's how every booth is sold. Over the years, and this isn't going to change anything, but over the years, I think across the board, those spaces started to get smaller and smaller and smaller.
Because they're trying to get as many people in as they possibly can.
And we get it. We understand.
Absolutely.
And so what ended up happening is over time, it's been doing this for years. Now you'll start having booths where vendors are next to each other. And now let's say you have 8 foot here, 2 foot space, 8 foot here. But now you have 2 vendors sharing the same 2 foot. But you're actually supposed to have your own entrance and exit. And that's fine too. The issue doesn't arise until you have 3 and 4 vendors all lined up. 4 vendors all have 8 foot tables, and everybody's sharing 1 foot, 1 foot of entrance and exit. Space. So you got to actually walk behind other people's booths. So it was not working out. We understood that, but we were still assigned our area. Other people were assigned their area. So you would have to basically let calmer heads prevail and let the organizers of the event come and sort things out. But instead, there was actually a vendor who came and literally was telling us or telling me what she was going to do and moving our stuff out of the way as she's telling me. And I'm like, hey, lady, get away. Just to say it kindly.
I didn't get to actually hear what he said to her, but
I'm like, okay.
I was on my way to get Bob.
Yeah, so Audra was, putting out the fire. And it was fine. And even, I don't know the lady, but her husband came and we were laughing about it because he came and said, man, I'm happy they worked all of that out. He said, dude, let me just tell you, I'm sorry for my wife, but you are too doggone big to be getting mad. And we laughed and, went about our business. And so it was fine.
For long story short, since we've already told the story now,
right.
They actually moved us
again.
So we are now in booth 1216, which that probably means nothing to you guys, but it is on the vendor map. And we ended up right beside Josh's Frogs, or across the aisle from Josh's Frogs. And on one side of us is ball python breeders, and on the other side of us, we got to sit beside
Barbara
from Creepy Exotic.
Yes, awesome.
Like Mama a mom Barbara. Of the industry, right?
Actually, we purchased Geckos way back when. I know it's a long story, guys, but way back when we first really got started, where the lineage kind of dated back to her production. She's been doing this for a very, very long time. So we respect a lot of what she does. We actually ventured off and was looking at some of her productions over on her table. But our area we're in now, we really like it. They kind of called it Gecko Alley, because there were so many gecko breeders in that area. And again, everybody kind of did their own thing. There was no animosity. We loved our situation.
Yeah, we enjoyed being beside everybody.
And you can network, you can talk different projects and look at different geckos that you're not producing, that someone else may be. It was really, really good overall.
And speaking of other vendors and new vendors and different people, just shout out to some of our friends, obviously the normals that have always been there, but we want to say a real good congratulations to Jordan and Gabby with Ruby Reptiles.
They are amazing.
They finally got in and they are vending.
They flew out. They made it happen. Their setup looked amazing. They actually had the back wall unit as well. For them to have such a minimum setup, it really looked amazing. It was very
top tier.
Yes, absolutely. It was gorgeous.
And they've had amazing geckos.
That's what I was going to say. Absolutely stunning geckos. Maybe in a later video, you'll see what we picked up. We'll throw that out there.
Are you guys needing some assistance with your crested gecko breeding programs? Well, check out our Patreon. We've been running it here now for pretty much close to 2 years. Everyone's been extremely excited. We keep adding new perks every time you guys turn around. We give away Xanthics, we give away high whites, we give away lily whites. We actually upgraded this year to we're giving away over 12 geckos every single year. That averages out to at least a gecko a month, and we've been doing over that. So you are not going to want to miss becoming a part of the flawless Crested Geckos Patreon family. There's 2 tiers. There's a $50 tier and there's a $100 tier. You get all your funds back in the form of Flawless Crested Gecko savings account. You can take advantage of having 5% additional off by being a Patreon member, as well as having year-round free shipping. You guys are not going to want to miss this, so go head over to patreon.com/Flawless Crested Gecko.
That out there.
Yeah.
But yes, Jordan and Gabby from Ruby Reptile, they are amazing people. If you don't know who they are, you need to go find out. They're all on Instagram, Facebook. They work with some insane genes. I'll go as far as our knowledge. I believe they are the only Crested Gecko breeders stateside that have visual chochos, which is a recessive Crested Gecko trait.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
They also have, I think, genetic hypo and some other stuff.
They have a lot of high-end, a lot of very, very boutique style genes and traits. So we have some pickups from them.
Yeah, Jordan and Gabby are very, very specific about what they like to pick up, and they kind of they did what we did in the beginning. Once we kind of got over the hump of, hey, we're actually going to do this. We're going to breed. And then we started picking up very specific stuff.
Absolutely. And they've been hitting home runs ever since.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we set up, we went in on Thursday, and we got there, got
in the
rested.
hotel. Died.
Yeah, died.
Coma style.
Then Friday we went through all of that. We set up. But once we were rocking and rolling, sales were awesome. I mean, we'll say that sales were absolutely awesome. From Friday set up, Saturday and Sunday. The U.S. ARC auction was awesome as well. We donate the U.S. ARC every single time that we're there, and it's really cool because almost every time, whoever wins the geckos that we auction off,
I know they always come and visit with us.
Talk to them about the genetics or the lineage, make sure that they're squared away.
So that was pretty cool that he really came by, and I think he actually helps with the U.S. ARC stuff. So that was pretty cool that he won it, and he came by and he took a picture and was super appreciative, which was like really nice, and be like, yeah, that's that. Congratulations, that's fun.
At such a big show like NARBC Tinley, our experience on what we were seeing at the show was a lot of new keepers and breeders, a lot of first-time people attending Tinley show.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of first-time buyers. So it was a really, really cool experience.
It seemed like it's crazy because I think that has honestly been the most feet through the door.
Yes.
And I mean, in any show, I think October, the very first time we actually went, we just attended. We had not, gotten into VIN yet. And I think that may be the only other show that was that crowded.
Right.
It was that busy.
Yeah, they had a line outside for hours on Sunday.
Yeah,
it was
even
insane.
on Sunday. Yeah,
it
sometimes
was insane. And it was snowing.
Yeah, you see that on Saturday, but Sunday it was crazy, just absolutely crazy. And then of course, you've got Snake Discovery, Emily and Ed that come in, and all the kids and stuff just absolutely love her, and she's such a good role model for these children in our industry. So that's pretty cool. That brings people brings people through the door. So.
And like I said, we did a soft inventory on things and numbers, so we don't have like all the exact stuff. But from being there and kind of throwing this out there, anyone wanting to know what's going on as far as like the market and things like that, what are people buying? Honestly, people were buying a lot of mid-range to high-end projects or geckos from those projects. Empty backs, exantic lilies, always high priority items when you're out there, but you see a lot more people pulling the trigger on those.
And then your really nice specialties. One that I can think of is Noah and Meredith with Oklahoma Zoological. They brought in, obviously, Noah, if you know him, he's an artist and an incredible artist. So they brought in a lot of his prints, but he also brought some geckos.
Yes.
And he brought some of his very best things. And his yellow, there was a yellow and white that was just outrageous. Insane. So people are buying that type of thing, like very special, high-end stuff, and then your mid-range.
Right. So basically kind of the synopsis of it, for me, it felt like over the past couple of years, people were really kind of going at it like a shotgun spray.
Yeah.
You know, and now I'm looking at people kind of more precision.
Yeah.
You know, and yes, you do worry about how much certain things cost, but you look at, you know, I don't want to keep saying supply and demand, but when you have people like Noah,
it's
and
factual.
they nail certain projects to the point where it's not very many people doing a specific project at that level, and then they decide to make something available and release it, people are jumping on those items. And different projects, sables, you know, cappuccinos. People were buying cappuccinos left and right.
Yep.
Left and right. Yep. So any of you guys out there that think the gene is dead, it is not. It is alive and thriving.
Anytime,
you just have to use it in a very good way.
Anytime you have any gene in general that is like, you know, it's new or it's just been uncovered. Obviously, these genes are not new. They're just uncovered. But anytime you have those genes, you can plug it into so many different things. Even if it doesn't work for, say, the super form, like that one in particular, with it being such a fatal kind of gene with a super form, like lily whites with their super form being fatal. There are so many other options that you can plug genes into to see how it reacts to different things and what it can create, and you really can come out with some awesome things. So that sentiment was absolutely spread around as we saw the amount of cappuccino purchases being going up.
So yeah, we tried to get away from the table here and there. Audra would get away, I would get away, and
not much.
Yeah, definitely, because it was packed. But for the most part, everybody that I spoke to, and I guess Audra, or she could tell you herself, said that they had a pretty good weekend. So that was pretty cool to see everybody being successful.
So what's next for us as far as the show scene is concerned? That's usually the question. It was funny because one of our frequent visitors to pretty much every time we come to Tinley, we always get to see Jeff and Amber.
Yes.
And Amber messaged, because I didn't get to take a picture with her this time. I didn't even get to get a hug or anything from Amber.
We took so many pictures though, which was awesome.
Yeah, but it was just so busy. Like when they were able to stop in, I was busy. I didn't even get to see them.
Right.
And so she messaged in Instagram. She's like, we didn't get her picture. And I was like, I didn't even get a hug. And she said, you're going to be at Schaumburg, right? I was like, no, we're not going to be at Schaumburg. And he's like, Will said y'all were going to Schaumburg. I was like, he didn't hear you.
No,
he didn't hear you right.
Oh my God.
Because we're not going to Schaumburg, unfortunately. But our next show will be the All-American Plant and Reptile Expo in
Troy
Charlotte.
And Nick show
in Troy and Nick show. And then it will be, I think, Daytona for sure.
Yeah, Daytona for sure.
And then, of course, we'll have Bob's show, Siri.
And possibly
Nashville.
We'll
just gotta discuss that. But also, don't forget, you guys, go to epic.live and sign up for, we're gonna have 16 sessions of live, free.
Sign up.
You just got to sign up. You just got to go to that website and sign up. There are 16 sessions with professionals in all different realms of our industry, and there is going to be so much education that is going to be sent your guys' way. We are super excited about our guest spot on it.
Yes.
And
shocked, but
very shocked that we were asked to do this. So
it's going to be fun.
Been an absolute, we really felt good about that. So if you need to know more information, you got to hit up Craig with Bash Coder.
Yep.
Just look him up, look up Bash Coder on Instagram, and you can find out some extra stuff about Epic. But that is going to be happening April 4th. It's a Friday. I think it starts at 4. I
believe so.
I think. I have to double check about that.
And we have a huge surprise with that going down as well.
Yes, we do. So just make sure you get over there and you register for Epic. Again, you go to the website, epic.live.
Yep.
So
it's Will. It's Audra. Flawless Crested Geckos. Hopefully you enjoyed the recap.
Yes.
And we are out.
Bye.